Hello, and I recently got a question on from my newsletter community, one of my very special members over there, and she asked me, Ursula, how can I upgrade that confidence on my Zoom meetings? And it's such a valid question because I've got a suspicion and a belief that many people still don't always put on their cameras because they don't know how to show their most confident selves or not prepping for the confidence that they want to show up with. So I want to give you a few tips because this is vitally important for you to show up as your best looking self, as your best feeling self, because that's going to help you speak up with all of that confidence and connect better, show your authority, and keep growing and being that version of you that you want to be. So, the important thing to know and remember this, humans are visual creatures. We are visual creatures. We want to see. I want to see you. So that's what happens when your camera is not on. Now there's another barrier to connection. There's another barrier to getting to know you because I can't see you. But when I see you, at least I can have a bit of a connection with you. Now, I want you to think of Zoom Live or virtual meeting live. This box that we're in is like a TV box. So treat it like TV. Okay, so what do we need to know? First things first, what is my background looking like? As you can see this, okay, one thing I love about my background, and I'm gonna change. I'm gonna upgrade my background. There's a few things I'm gonna do, shift around, put in, big dreams. I'll share the updates with you. But one thing that I do love about this background is depth. I don't have a wall, a harsh wall behind me. It goes in deeper. You can see this little tunnel I'm in, and then there's this space, this opening. So I already have depth, and that's a really beautiful thing to see. And then look what I also did with the lighting. I put the house lights on. I put the background lights in the main area. It's daytime, but I put the back lights on, and I even put the lights for here on because visually that makes a difference. It would look very different if these backlights were not on. So you might feel like, but Ush, I don't have your space. If you have a wall behind you, what's a really good idea is to fill that space. Don't keep the wall blank. Fill it. Have a little lamp there or a diffuser. You get those beautiful diffuser lights and then they go different colors. You can have, oh, that's an idea. I'm just giving myself ideas what I might do with this space. So have like a diffuser light that changes color. Well, you don't want to be distracting when maybe it's a blue color or something that goes with your branding or your company. I've seen some people have neon lights of their company names, which is also really cool. Plants in the background. Hint, hint, that's what I will be getting soon. Lots of plants in the background. So dress your background. I heard a great tip the other day. They said if you're in a hotel, go to the foyer, get some plants, get a little plant from somewhere. Just ask if you can borrow the plants and then put that there. Something my client did the other day, and I really loved what she did. She travels a lot, and she's always in an Airbnb and in different spaces. And she, obviously, through our coaching, she's very aware of how her background looks. And the other day, she was in an Airbnb. Oh, it was so beautiful. And she sat at a slant. So the wall was at a slant. And on this wall, there was a painting, beautiful, like Chanel painting, painting of Chanel. And then on that wall, was like a white cupboard. But just that square gave depth. And it was interesting. And she looked spectacular. So see, how can I create depth in my background? So either I need to zhuzh up my blank wall, bring in something, bring in a little bookcase or something. But those are tips to help with your background. so you can look amazing. This, I especially bought this for Zoom. I saw it on a YouTuber's channel that she had this fluffy thing on her chair, and it just gave this different fun element. And I got onto at home online and I ordered one of these, and it's so fun and people always comment about it. So see how can you get creative? Where can you borrow ideas? Look at how other people look on Zoom, what's working on their Zoom screens. Look at the difference that depth makes on a Zoom screen. Okay, so that's going to already take you next level, and put on those backlights. Then another thing is lighting. So you can literally, you don't have to have a fancy lighting system. You can just take the lighting of your computer, you can make it darker, and you can make your computer lighting lighter. Angles, remember, have a little bit of a space above your head. And remember, if you want to look, so my computer's on a stand and it's tilted. Play with your angles. You know your face better than anybody else. Because if you get the wrong angle, you're not going to look your best. So you got to really play with your angles. Got to like go, ooh, maybe I want it like this, that. And some people, for example, have like a big forehead. So they feel like if the camera is coming from above, it's like it enlarges this, because the camera enlarges anything that's close to it, the closest thing to it. So if my computer is here at the bottom, then my bottom half of my body is gonna my body's gonna look big and my head is gonna look like tiny. So then you look fat. Ladies, you look like camera's picking up weight. So rather you want your head to be closer to the camera and your body next, and then you look skinnier. Yeah. And then lastly, well, no, two more things. We have, no, I forgot what the one was. Sound. So I'm kind of not embarrassed, but maybe a little bit embarrassed to say this. I noticed I've been having sound issues. And I've been buying microphone after microphone after microphone, and really thinking it's the microphone's fault. And then I realized I didn't have enough things absorbing sound where I sit in this little tunnel. This little tunnel echoes. So I sound really loud. I do, as a voice coach, I do have some volume, and I'm really passionate about what I speak about. So that is a sign of why the voice would be louder. But it was echo. And I realized I had nothing in this space absorbing sound. This doesn't absorb enough sound. So I've put in a carpet in this space. So the more you have carpet, curtains, towels, you need things to absorb sound. So for example, a lot of voice artists, when they have to do recordings at home and they can't get to a studio, especially with COVID, when voice artists couldn't get to studios, they would record voiceovers for clients either in a cupboard, in a wardrobe cupboard with a duvet over their heads, or they would sit in the car and put blankets and duvets and everything and towels in the car, because the car is a great space that's padded and it keeps the sound in and the sound is being absorbed. So those are just a few things to think of for having excellent sound. You're not echoing. And then the last point that I want to share with you, and this is an important one, and I hope you've listened to this part of the video to really get this nugget. A big one that I get is, how do I connect, Ursula? How do we really connect? And there are many little techniques you can use to connect virtually, and icebreakers and interacting with people and all of that. But there's a very powerful technique that I want you to use, and that is your hands. When you speak, have your hands in the frame. in the frame. When you're not speaking, you can do with your hands whatever you want to do. But sounds wrong. But when you speak, it's your turn in the meeting to speak. Show your hands. And I'm not talking about floppy hands all over the place, but show why? Because we build trust with hands. These show trust. And some studies have shown that when our hands are not in the frame, people will subconsciously, not conscious about it, subconsciously start wondering, I wonder what Ursula's doing with her hands. What's happening down there? So it's a primal, ancestral thing about the hands. And I've got a lot more information on that for you. But just know, speak with these hands. And not too much face touching, because that again just actually blocks you off. So open up and speak with the hands. I hope this helped, and let me know about your backgrounds, you got questions, but really just upgrade all of that TV skill on Zoom so that you can speak with all of that authority that you are and that you have to share. Okay, till next time.